Hey, it's David here from Freedom Founders. One of the conversations I have the privilege of having often with a number of our members in Freedom Founders is really their interests outside of their focal point, their career. And most of the people in Freedom Founders are business owners, they're professional practice owners. Many are dentists like I was for many years. And when we have a certain amount of education, we've gone through the hoops to get a license, degree, certification at whatever level, and then we go to work in a career or start a business, whatever it might be. That's where our focus is, and of course we're built to do that. We're taught to do that. We have to do that for our own economic stability, to have food to put on the table and pay the bills and put a roof over our head. So of course we focus hard there, and some of the advents of that career move or that job or business is, the way you climb up the ladder is, you get better at those skills that you developed in providing a higher level of income. So it's that trading time for dollars that I speak against a lot, but it's where we start in life, right? The problem with staying in that mode is not just the fact that it's a very linear improvement, meaning the return on higher skill sets and working harder, longer, or faster, the increased in your status in life, not status from degrees or from plaques on the wall, but I mean status in terms of your freedom, which is really what we're all about. Is that movement, that linear improvement is very, very small. It just doesn't really move the needle very much. So how do we change that? Well, one of the things is to always be considering what other skill sets or interests can one be developing while in that mode where you're creating, financial stability, trading time for dollars until you can make that move outside. One of the things I found early in life, and it was a big help to me, was even though I was focused on dentistry and I was young and just out of school and I needed more skill sets, so I was taking continuing education, right, to get better speed and diagnostic capabilities, all the things that you should be doing as you're entering a career, I was doing those. But at the same time, not sequentially, not waiting, but at the same time, simultaneously, I started learning, not formally, but from other groups, connecting with people that were very entrepreneurial in the real estate space. Wow, that's a big difference, right? Real estate, dentistry, where's the connection there? Well, there really isn't, except that I've always been curious. So instead of getting more degrees or going back to school to learn about finance and real estate or get a license or a brokerage, I just learned from other people. I got inside groups, I paid to play, meaning I learned from other people and started getting my chops, meaning getting some traction in how to develop outside passive income, outside my active income, which was dentistry. And through those associations with other people, I learned things that I didn't know, because inside the world of dentistry, well, it's a pretty tight box, and most of the conversations are around the technical skills of dentistry, which as they should be. But if you stay there, or whatever your career choice is, if you stay there locked in that small realm, you miss out on what's going on around you. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to split your time, but I found that speed to making changes to my next moves were done, again, not through formal education, but through association with other people outside my niche specific career. In the realm of looking for building those passions, those skill sets, those other interests, it gives you also a sense of having more diversity, which means you have more of an insurance policy, if you will, against undue times, uncertainty in the marketplace, COVID, for example, that shut down a lot of businesses and income. If you've got outside skill sets and you've got other avenues of creating income, or you've got other assets or interests, financial interests in other businesses, investment-wise, then you're not locked in. I'm doing a special webinar at the end of this month, December 29th, which is Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central, on the theme of my book, next book, which is coming out, which is What's Your Next? That's my book. And I'd be excited to have you join me on that webinar, because I'm going to go down into some of the deeper themes of what I've learned and what I've seen happen with other people that I've had the privilege of being a part of their lives, being part of facilitating some changes, asking the questions, right, and helping them to develop their What's Your Next in many different passions, many different modes. So if you can join me December 29th, I'd love to have you there. Until then, remember, always stay focused on your freedom. See you next time.